I'm Salad, Mint Salad, and I saw You Only Live Twice. It is directed by Louis Gilbert, written by Roald Dahl. If you haven't seen this movie, I will spoil it for you. The gist of the movie is that someone is stealing a bunch of aircraft from space. This was 67, so of course we got the space races going on. I absolutely love the little death claw thing that just consumes the capsules in space like it's a shark. It's just like, oh. This is getting the attention of world government. It's up to James Bond to figure out who is behind this. The first thought is Japan, because, you know, it's in the Japan place. James Bond has to go undercover. There's multiple attempts on his life. He soon finds out it's actually Spectre is behind all of this. Spectre is trying to manufacture a war. Spectre is trying to frame Japan. Spectre is trying to cause a conflict that'll eventually make it so they get a bunch of money. That is always Spectre's motivation. The Bond girl in this, Aki, she's cute. Oh my goodness, I have such a soft spot for her. And when she wears that kimono of her, mwah, I love that kimono. This movie starts with him dying, or I guess a doppelganger, him faking his death, and then later on in the movie it's shown that everyone he's trying to fool about his death, nobody is fooled. They keep seeing James Bond. James Bond just keeps on doing the James Bond thing. Of course he gets caught, so Spectre is not at all fooled. Aki gets poisoned by this really cool method of poisoning, just taking the string and just dumping the poison down the string and so it drips in her mouth. And it's not messy at all. It's intended for Bond, but Bond shifts in his sleep. And it's good that he does that, because then she dies and Bond doesn't die. And honestly, Bond is more of a valuable asset than this lady. Sorry, lady. You're just a woman. James Bond is James Bond. It's implied that he had sex with the first lady, although it's not on screen. It's just on screen that he gets absolutely betrayed, and it's the after of sleeping with her. So I think I will count that as sleeping with her. In total, he sleeps with 3 women, and he has sex with Aki off screen because they're supposed to be a married duo. Married being they're being undercover. It takes about 3 of those spaceship chomps. I'm just gonna call it that now. I don't know what else to call that chomping machine. The machine that consumes the capsule and then takes the capsule, puts it into Earth, and then hides the people inside in the capsule. What's the purpose? I guess smuggling, blackmail, or maybe some hostages. Evil things Spectre might think of. I don't have an evil brain, so I don't know what evil deeds this could be used for. It's really cold out here. It's 20 degrees and very windy. It's very cold. Just so you know, that's why I'm shivering and I sound like this. I should mention this is the last Sean Connery before he takes a departure in the next movie. I gotta say, I like Sean Connery in this, although he definitely has a different energy than the first movie for sure. In the first movie, he has a youthful flair to him. And he's, you know, suave. He's been suave the entire time. However, he is definitely noticeably older in this one compared to Dr. No, where he's very young. Even if you're the same person throughout several years of playing the same character, you're going to change the performance a little bit because of your older sensibilities. And I feel like just in the most subtle ways, Sean Connery changes his portrayal of James Bond. I also forgot to mention the ninjas. Yeah, Bond partners with ninjas in the final battle, and the ninjas just go hard. They're going, "Grrr!" I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. We're doing ninjas. Man, this movie has a lot going on. I feel like there's a lot of locations that this movie bounces from. And it takes place in Japan, which I totally get. You're gonna show me ninjas, which is pretty cool. But I feel like if this had a little bit less going on, but was more focused on the central idea of what's happening in the movie, somebody's stealing the capsules from space. And I know that James Bond is focusing on this the entire time, but I feel like the side plots are a little bit unnecessary. The whole ninja thing, oh man, it's a lot to introduce when you also have introduced the idea of space travel, and James Bond is trying to become a astronaut and pretend to be an astronaut, and he's only thwarted by accidentally carrying an air conditioning unit, and number one of Spectre is like, yo, why are you doing this? You're obviously not an astronaut. And then we get this cool epic fight scene where number one ends up dying, rip number one. But also it shows a scar. This is a pretty gnarly scar. This is the first ever reveal of Blofeld, aka number one. I just like number one more personally. Blofeld. There's a reason why you're not called number one and not Blofeld. That's a weird name. James Bond defeats number one, and of course with Spectre, the organization will keep on going with a new leader. It's really cold out here. What do you think of You Only Live Twice? I like the title because he fakes his death at the very beginning of the movie, and this is his second life, which is pretty fun. It was very convincing. I also thought he died at the very beginning, but then it showed that he wasn't dead, which is pretty cool. He was able to escape via a Navy funeral, which I find to be very clever. Also is flirting with Moneypenny. Man, just have sex with her already. Come on, James Bond. I think you're a little bit lacking. You need to hit that. She is sending signals. But I get it. It's business. Don't mix business with pleasure. So I've got to give this film, it's a solid 6.8 out of 10. If you like this review, watch another one on the platform you like at $20 Dinos, patreon.com/ASEPresents for one movie review for 1 month. Go to this link tree to support the daily grindiness of all them daily movies, so go here. And until next time, in salad sauce, I'll see you to my salad croutons and bacon bits. I'm gonna go walk to Japan now. Goodbye.